Okay, so since the 2022 summer update we had in Erlc, some places have now become unused in the game. Now don't get me wrong, these places are still used quite a lot, but compared to some other things, they aren't used as much as they used to be used. So if you do enjoy, make sure to drop a like and also subscribe, but let's get straight into it. Okay, so obviously the map is a lot bigger. The summer update isn't really new anymore, it's like, yeah, it was a few months ago or whatever, but it's still kind of new, and there's a lot of places now that aren't used anywhere near as much as they used to be used. For example, the first one we're going to go to is the sheriff's office. Now don't get me wrong, the sheriff's office is still definitely used and it is used a lot, but it's so far away now that barely anyone uses it. It's all the way over here near Springfield, and to be honest, oh wow, it's a big crash. But to be honest, Springfield is used a lot, but nowhere near as much as the main city. Everything really happens in the main city. Nothing really happens in Springfield, so unless it's in a private roleplay server, and that's when like the different teams are like specially rolled out and stuff, and you have to like train for everything. But in a public server, no one really uses the sheriff's office. It's all the way over here. Nothing really happens over here. There's nowhere you can like go. There's like one ATM somewhere over here, and there's like a few over here, but that's like all there is in this area. And if you wanted to go to the main city, you have to drive all the way over here, you have to go onto the highway, then you have to turn off down there, come all the way over here, and no one really uses the sheriff's office. As I said, in private servers it is still used, and don't get me wrong, it is still used a lot, but it's not used as much as it used to be. In a public server, I can't say I see many people out on the sheriff team anymore in the city, because it's a long drive, and then if you need to respawn your car or something, then you have to go all the way back out here to do it, and people just join onto the police team. And in my opinion, I think the police station and like the police team's livery looks a lot nicer than the sheriff's office, but that's just my opinion, and let me know if you think any different. I mean, I just personally never see any sheriff's officers like at all. I know they're not meant to patrol in the city area, but like even when I'm out here, like nothing really happens out here, and especially the public server, people just want money, no one really role plays, and no one does that out here. That all happens in the main city, so the sheriff's office definitely isn't used very much at all. And obviously, as I said at the start, it's not like these places aren't used at all, they are still used, but nowhere near either as much as they used to be, or you know, not as much compared to something else. Like for example, the sheriff's office is not used as much as the police station, and they're kind of the same thing. But the next one is gonna be the hospital. Now I know, again, obviously in private servers for roleplay, the hospital is used a lot, but along with like the doctor and the nurse job, no one uses the hospital anymore. I know the hospital is purely for roleplay. You do have the AI callouts, which I guess you can do, but other than that, when people bring in the AI callouts, that's all they really do. I mean, there's rooms and everything in here, but there's like nothing you can do really. I mean, you can join onto the doctors and the nurse job, as I said, but in a public server, nobody comes to the hospital. The only reason someone might come to the hospital is to like sit down on the bed, which does heal your health if you didn't know that. But other than that, no one really uses the hospital, and it's a shame because I think the hospital is very, very nice. But it is good that in private servers it is still used quite a lot. It's just that in public servers, like not much stuff is really used, because people just like want to go on a public server to grind, and everyone else that wants to actually roleplay goes on private servers. It's almost like people don't use public servers to roleplay anymore, and I think that's quite a shame, because in almost every private you do join, you have to like train and stuff if you want good roleplay still. But yeah, anyway, the hospital is not really used, especially in a public server. In private servers, yes, it is used, but in public servers, not really. And that takes me on to the final one, which is the park. Now, not this park, I'm talking about the downtown, the city park here. Since this park was added in the summer update, I only ever see people at this park. I don't really see people at the city park. Now don't get me wrong, I don't play on public servers too much, but from the times I have done, from the times I've been recording, I only ever see people really at this park, and that's because it's newer and it's a lot nicer. Whereas if we actually go over to the city park, it's nowhere near as busy, and it's kind of like all walled off. Like I don't really like the city park, how it looks, because if we go over here, everything is like walled off, and like you can't see anything. It's all just like, it's like enclosed. It's almost like a prison yard. It's closed off by walls and everything. Obviously you've got the exits in the corners, but I think like the city park that we were just at is a lot more open. You can like see the road, whereas here like there's nothing really you can do. There's a few benches down there, but like you can't bring any vehicles in, whereas at the city park, obviously you can use the food truck. There's loads of people there. There's a nice water fountain. Here there's like a sewage pipe and then like a little pond with some benches there. So this one isn't really used anymore, and again I think most people try and stick into the main city, where obviously the fountain or the city is over there, and that little park area. But people obviously do still use this one. Again, don't come hating at me in the comments where I'm saying no one uses this. People do use it, and a lot of people still use it, but compared to something else, it's not used as much. And the city park was definitely used a lot more now, or that park we were just at was used a lot more now, but obviously now the fountain and the new park is added, it's not used as much. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. If there's anything else that you think is no longer really used in the game, let me know. There's obviously little things like the taxi and limo place. People don't really use it because it's just a little bit boring. You can't do anything, no one really calls a taxi. But let me know what you think is not a very used feature in Erlc in the comments below. If you did enjoy, make sure you drop a like and also subscribe. If you want to see more videos, make sure you comment below what videos you want to see, and also check out everything else on the description as well. Go follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, join my Discord server. All of that is linked in the description below. But thank you so much for watching. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.